Diane and Denmark here. Rah, rah, rah. Hurry, hurry, hurry. It's Monday morning. You know me, I love Monday morning. It's always like we get a chance for a fresh start. Let me just put down my feather duster on a stick and my pom-poms. And I've had my swim in the sea this morning. I've got swim here going on. Just before we start, I get this question again, and I know there are a lot of new people watching. When I did a video last week about my outfits for the week, and I'll be doing another one this week. You know, I showed you what I wear for the week and how I can change up the look of an outfit. I get questions from people saying, do you clean in those clothes? Yes, if you see any of my cleaning videos, these are the clothes that I wear all day. I'm not using toxic products because they're bad for the environment, they're bad for your family. And if you're cleaning consistently, you know, with the Flylady system, you don't need the toxic stuff. If you feel like you want to wear an apron or change into cleaning clothes, that's fine. I don't feel it's necessary, though. I do wear an apron when I'm in the kitchen because, you know, I'm chopping and, you know, I'm using sauces and stuff, and then I can get a bit messy. But cleaning generally, as you're going to see today in the video, no. The only thing I often do is if I'm wearing something like a big long necklace, like this one here, I'll often take that off because it often gets caught in the hoover when I'm vacuuming. So that's the only thing. Anyway, let's jump into what we're going to do today. I know a lot of you are kind of back to school, back to work, you know, going into the autumn season. And I know we all want to be doing stuff, but we're just going to gently get back into our routines and a wee bit of zone cleaning. And remember, if you are new here, please don't feel like you have to do any zone cleaning. The main thing, keep going with those morning routines and evening routines. If you can just do your morning routine, evening routine, and you know, keep going with decluttering, that is all you need to get started. The rest will come. For those of you who are a wee bit further down the line, maybe you want to get back into the zoning cleaning stuff, and that's what we're going to do today. So get ready to rock and roll. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using today. And I have purposely not brought up my control journal where, you know, sometimes I show you the detailed cleaning lists. I'm purposely not showing you that today because I know a lot of you will be like, oh, I need to make up a control journal and I need to be printing off lists. You don't need to do any of that, okay? Stop right there. Stop. All you need, and you don't need fancy products. You know, I use very little product. The main thing is if you've got, you know, a duster or some kind of cleaning rag. And I'm going to be showing you what we usually do in Zone 4. We're into Zone 4 this week, Flylady Zone 4, which is the master bedroom. And say you have, if you're lucky enough to have a bathroom, you know, an ensuite bathroom, that will all be part of Zone 4. We're just going to ease into things, and we're going to be doing 15 minutes in this room, probably less than 15 minutes. If you're thinking, oh, I can't get it clean 15 minutes, maybe you're still at the decluttering stage. Maybe you just need to keep on going with the decluttering and do your weekly home blessinger. Anyway, I'm going to set the timer today. You see, I've got a wee timer in here. Yeah, the other thing you might like to get for yourself is a timer, or use a timer on your phone. The reason I don't like using the timer on my phone is that sometimes when the timer goes off, then I go down that rabbit hole of the internet and start looking at other stuff. So that's why I quite like the physical timer. And if you put it somewhere else, you actually have to go over and switch it off. I like that. That's why I like using, you know, a timer. But you don't need to go and buy one of these. I'll be your timer today. And remember, my videos, I don't edit my videos, and you don't see me speeded up cleaning. I just want to show you the power of working for 15 minutes. So there we go. Got the timer going. And I'm just going to take off my jacket because it's actually quite warm now in here. And as I say, you know, I just wear my clothes, whatever I'm wearing for the day. If you want to, you know, wear some cleaning clothes, that's fine, but change back into your ordinary clothes afterwards, okay? There's no need to be wearing them all day. Right, first of all, we're going to do our usual, I've got a feather duster that I put on a stick, And I'm going to go around the room clockwise. I do it clockwise. So I remember kind of where I start and which direction I'm going. And I'm just going to get any of those cobwebs. We've got an awful lot of cobwebs here right now. I don't know if it's the same for you, but we're kind of into autumn season. Listen, I'm not going to be moving the camera and stuff. You're just going to have to work along with me. Right, and I'm just going along the ceilings, and I'm actually doing the corners as well. Let me get round the side of the bed. I'll move the camera in a wee minute, but I'm sure you can work out what I'm doing with this. Right. Okay, all around there, and then down. We'll do the same along here. And then I'm just going to take the same feather dusting stick, and I'm going to do the baseboards. The baseboards, you know, the skirting boards in the kitchen and the bathroom, often I'll use a damp cloth for those because, you know, there's more steam and whatever in those rooms. But here, there's no kind of steamy atmosphere. So I'm just going to use the feather duster on a stick. There we are. And I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going around the room clockwise. Now, if you haven't done that task before, it may take you a wee bit longer. But that's the thing, if you're doing these things consistently, it won't take much time at all. Okay, I'm almost round. There we are. Woohoo, go me, first thing done. And I'll give my feather duster a good shake outside while we're finished. I won't stop right now. Right, next thing, I'm going to take my this little hand duster, and I'm just going to do the flat surfaces. Let me see if I can move the camera a wee bit further back. There we are. And again, I generally don't use product because the only time I ever use product, you know, a spray is on the is my pledge that I use in the living room. Otherwise, we're just wiping off the dust. Just move the little cleaning caddy out of the way. And you don't need to be, you know, taking everything off, just kind of move it to the side. There we are. Right, and then I'm going to go around. I'm still here. Coming this way beside the windowsill. Okay, and then I'm going to do part beside our bed. And just give it, where are you? Just give it a quick wipe down. You don't need to be cleaning it within an inch of its life. There we go. And I'm also just going to do inside the lamps here. There we are. Oh, on the top of the picture here. Right. So there. I think that's we done with this one. So we've done ceilings, the skirting boards, that's what we call them in Scotland, and dusted off the flat surfaces. And now I'm going to clean the windows. Now, before you start getting out your bucket of water and your old newspapers and soot, when I clean the windows, I'm using environmentally friendly spray and one of the Flylady purple rags. Let me just show you. There. I keep it here in my wee caddy, so I've got it ready to go. The Flylady's got purple rags, silver rags, so they're all the same. And I like the microfiber rags because I've had these for about 10 years, and I've never bought any since then. That's why, and I think that they're, you know, it's a good product and it's easy to use. And when I do the windows, I give them a quick scoosh scoosh, you'll hear that in a minute. And the window part, and I also do the mirrors in here, that is part of my weekly home blessing hour. Now, if you don't know what the weekly home blessing hour is, go back and watch that, because you shouldn't be doing zone cleaning unless you're already doing weekly home blessing hour, you know, one thing at a time. But that part in the weekly home blessing hour where it says clean windows and mirrors, I do it by zone. So last week when we were in zone 3 and 2 when we were in the bathroom, I did the windows in the bathroom, the insides. And now that we're in zone 4 and 4, we are doing them in the master bedroom. So for me, it makes sure that the windows are always getting a bit of love and attention, because before Flylady, I would never do the windows. It was like once every 3 or 4 years. So anyway, let's get on with that, and I'll turn the camera around and see how I actually do the windows. Just hold on. Right, here we go. I've just pulled up the blinds. Scoosh, 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 scoosh. And that's all I use. And then I just use my rag, and I've folded it like this, so that way I can use one side and then the other side and then open it up and use that side and that side. Because before I would be using like about 10 different rags. You don't need 10 different rags, one will do. Right, here we go. There we go. I'm just going to turn this round and use the other side for these two. One done, and then this last one here. And you don't need to be doing the whole window. You know, if you've got small kids or animals that leave, you know, prints down here, just do that part. You don't need to be doing the whole thing every time. And I'm just going to do the windows here the other way. But don't worry, I'll keep talking to you. Don't worry, I haven't gone on a coffee break, not yet. Okay, scoosh, scoosh. Right, that's one. I'm just turning around my rag one last time. There we go. See, plenty of life in the old gal yet. There. Woohoo, go me. Hold on, I just put down. There. And for those who are wondering about the outside of the windows, here in Europe we often have a window cleaner that will come into your windows. We have a 3-story house, and these windows I can get to from our little balcony. Most of them I can't. And we have a window cleaner who comes every 4 months, and he's got the special equipment and the life insurance, and he does a really good job for not much money. So that works for us. If you want to clean the outside of your windows, that's fine, but you don't need to be doing it every month, certainly not every month. You may want to add it into your control journal and note it down for maybe once every 6 months. And I personally do the outside windows at our Swedish weekend cabin. I do those myself, but again, I do it maybe once or twice a year, generally coming into spring and then just before the winter. So that works for me. And remember, if you have a cleaner, that's fine. You don't need to feel bad about it. The main thing with the Flylady system is you do what you can, and if you have your kind of routine set up, if you've got health issues and you have somebody coming in to help, you can guide them and say what you want done instead of them just coming in and doing the stuff that isn't helpful to you. Anyway, let me turn you around and let me just check the timer. Okay, we still have a couple of minutes left. I'm going to do the mirrors. Now I've still got life in my rag, so I'm just going to do that here. And this is where I put on my makeup in the morning. I've got my makeup in here and my hair stuff, so that this mirror can get a wee bit messy. Right, there we go. And the reason I like to put my makeup there is that I can get right up close. You know, when you get a bit older, you can't kind of see so well, but then with that one I can get right up and close. Right, and I've also got a mirror here, but it's not really any purpose, so it just looks quite nice in the room. And my jewellery box. Oh, and I tell you what we'll do, because I think we've got a couple of minutes left. Let me just check the timer. This timer going. There it is. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left. And I won't do any more cleaning in here just now. The only other thing that I regularly do when we're doing like the zone clean will be to give a really good vacuum in this room, you know, get right underneath the bed. And I don't keep anything underneath the bed. The only thing I keep underneath the bed, which you've seen before, are my fluffy slippers. And that's another thing. When we're in this zone, you maybe want to think about if you have a little area rug. You know, we've got a few rugs at the side of the bed. And I give them a shake outside. As I said, you know, vacuum this room, get right underneath the bed. If there's clutter underneath, work on that first. I'm going to put my fluffy slippers in the wash. Don't put them in the wash if they've got cardboard in them, obviously. Another thing, like if you've got your makeup, you keep your makeup in this room, wash your makeup brushes this month. Just try and keep by zone, even if you're not doing all, you know, the Flylady system. Just kind of think about, okay, zone 4, bedroom, what's in here, what can be done, you know, add it to your daily load of laundry. Maybe you've got throw cushions and pillows on the bed. You know, maybe you want to put the covers in the wash this week, but don't hyper focus on them. Just do a wee bit, because remember, before you know it, we're going to be back in the zone. But what I did want to show to you is I'm going to be going to another clothes swap party soon. Yes! It's Vibeke who's hosting this time. And I've mentioned before, I keep a bag in my wardrobe here, so that any items that I see that I'm not using, I'm not wearing, doesn't really suit me, I put them straight in the bag for the clothes swap party. And I've got a few items of jewellery which I've just kind of seen the last couple of days. So I'll show you what those are, because I know some of you enjoy the thought process of why am I not hanging on to them. Okay, so I'll just grab those. Right, here we go. This is a bag with some skincare stuff that my daughter didn't want. Let's put that down there. And when I've got things for the clothes swap party, things like earrings, I just put it on a piece of card and, you know, just try and keep them together so they're not getting tangled up. Anyway, I'll tell you why I'm not keeping these ones. I'm a type 1 secondary form, the Dressing Your Truth system. If you don't know what that is, go to dressingyourtruth.com. They've got a free course where you can find out your type. And I've been using it, or I started using it, because I wanted to, you know, pare down my wardrobe, and I've got so much more out of it. It's about energy profiling, and it's been so useful in all the areas of my life. And we won't get into that today. I'm a type 1 in Dressing Your Truth, and I get a lot of things at clothes swap parties. For example, this top, and let me just pop it on, the jacket that you saw me wearing today. This is also a clothes swap. This was actually one that I swapped with Vibeke. I gave her one of my handbags and she gave me a couple of jackets. So you know me, I'm all about swapping, not buying new stuff. Anyway, I got these earrings. Now these were part of a set. You know, quite often you maybe buy a set in somewhere like H&M and you get 3 or 4 pairs of earrings. And there are some earrings that I like, and then there's maybe 1 pair that I'm just not using. I hold on to them for a wee while, but if I haven't used them, when the next clothes swap party comes up, I think, oh, okay, that's going to go to close up. These are point and case. Now you can see they are nice circles. They're gold, which is great for a type 1 in Dressing Your Truth. The problem with these was, and they're quite light, and I quite like, the problem is I can't get them into my ears. They've got this tiny, you see that there? Just a tiny bit for getting your earlobe in. And I've determined that I am not determined enough to stand there, you know, squashing my earlobes into these earrings. So these are going to the clothes swap party. Maybe somebody else will be able to get their little lobes through them. But I got my ears pierced, gosh, when I was about 10 or 11. You know, I'm 52 now, and my ears have kind of, my earlobes are kind of stretched after that. So these are going to clothes swap party. And I'll take out the other ones. And also more earrings. These were just ones, kind of sparkly ones that I have, but they're not kind of doing anything for me now. So those are going. Another pair of hoop ones. Now, I do like hoops, but I find these ones are just too heavy. They just kind of drag my ears down. And I've got another pair, quite similar, but those that I do wear quite often, which are a bit lighter. So these ones are going. And I'm, you know, I've been doing the Dressing Your Truth thing now for a year, and I'm really getting a good feel of what I want and what I don't want, and what, you know, how many things I need to have a really good wardrobe. So those are going. And then, oh, this one, this was a bracelet. Now this came with a kind of job lot of bracelets that I got in a Swedish charity shop. I think it was these ones here, you know, they kind of put some things together and they were selling them as a job lot. And I don't know, I think it was like 10 Swedish krona. If you don't know what the currency is, ask Google or see what is 10 Swedish krona in, you know, euros, and I'll tell you. And I took this one, but you'll see it, and maybe I should hold on to it for Halloween. It's wee skulls. You see there? It's little skulls, but they've got a kind of dirty look to it. So, you know, probably a type 3 in Dressing Your Truth system would like the kind of dirty pink. But I'm more into the kind of bright pink. Here we are. This is one of my favourite ones. So, do you see the difference in colour? But, you know, pink is not just pink. Pink has got different. So this one's also going to a clothes swap party. And then I had, oh, there were some rings, just some basic gold rings, but I'm not really a ring person. And those weren't mine. I can't remember if those were my daughter's or I picked them up at clothes swap. And that's why I love the clothes swaps, because we get a chance to kind of try things, bring something new home, but the main thing is kind of, you know, passing on to somebody else what we are not using. And another thing, because I get this question all the time. Oh, there's another ring. The clothes swap parties. Anything that we don't take home from the clothes swap party, it goes to a women's shelter, it goes to the charity shop, and it's all going on to somebody else. Somebody else will be getting the benefit of it. It's not going to the rubbish or the trash. So that's also why it's a good idea to start a clothes swap party. And these earrings, they came with a cheap necklace, but I'm never gonna wear them, and I've got nicer earrings than that. So those are going to clothes swap. And a couple that I actually found this morning. Let me get those in. I'm all ready for next time. Do it now. Don't kind of leave things down and say, oh yeah, I'll do that later. Do it immediately. These big big circle earrings. I got those at a clothes swap party last year, and I remember who they belonged to. They belonged to Susanna, one of the Danish ladies. And I wore them a couple of times, but they're just too big. Now, I do like the circles, but I've got smaller circles like this, and these ones are just too big. They would work for me if I had long hair, but long hair really doesn't suit me. It drags my energy right down. So I need to have my hair off my shoulders. So I need to watch with the size of things. I feel that, I don't know, maybe if my secondary was 3 in Dressing Your Truth, you know, maybe if it's a type 1-3, I could, you know, do the even bigger, but that doesn't work for me. So those are going to clothes swap party. And ones that I was looking at this morning, now these actually started life like this, these earrings. And I discovered that it was just, and again, the shape is actually type 2 shape, you know, the oval thing. And again, they were just kind of too big. If this had been smaller, I would quite like it. They're shells. But what I've done recently is made them into 2 earrings. So this part, I removed it and put it on a little earring back thing. But I'm finding that, you know, I would wear these ones, like I could have worn those with my outfit today. There we go. But I'm not wearing these ones. So these ones are going to go to close-up party. So anyway, I'll be doing more decluttering here this week because it is zone 4. And I think I've got a few tops or maybe sweaters to go to the close-up party. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. So I'm going to wrap up this video now. And as I say, please don't feel like you have to hyper focus on the decluttering or the cleaning or the zones. Just do a wee bit. The main thing is that you set that timer, and when the timer goes off, move your focus to something else. You can go and work on something else, but I would suggest that when you're using the timer, maybe work for 15 minutes, change focus and maybe do 15 minutes decluttering this area. Then you could go back to do another 15 minutes of cleaning if you like, but make sure after that that you take a break, sit down and have a cup of tea, coffee, glass of water, whatever it is that you like, and take a break for 15 minutes, because that's what happens when we go kind of gung-ho about things. We don't take the breaks and then we think, we never want to do any cleaning again. So anyway, just take it easy out there. So on that note, I'm going to put away my cleaning caddy, get my fluffy slippers, put them in a washing basket, put these things away for the close-up party, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, Diane in Denmark saying, live long and prosper, may the Danish hygge be with you. Kind of mixed weather today, but it was actually, the sun actually came out when we had our swim, so I'm feeling good. Anyway, and I'll see you around on Instagram. Okay, bye for now.